feminist safe space professor who assaulted student fired, gets much worse news on way out. After a liberal professor turned thug assaulted a student photographer for simply taking pictures of their safe space, she was quietly removed from the university staff. However, as soon as she thought she had gotten away with infringing upon his First Amendment rights, the feminazi professor was informed of a much worse bit of news. Professor Jana Basiler, a liberal, feminist, safe spacer, and Greek life director at the University of Missouri, made headlines when she harassed and eventually assaulted ESPN freelance student journalist Tim Ty, who was merely photographing the area for a football column. Basiler was captured on video repeatedly grabbing Ty's camera, shoving him, and jolting him with her chest. Expectedly, this was more than enough for outraged viewers to call for her termination. The university was immediately inundated with demands for Basiler's job on the grounds that she is a threat to both students' physical safety and their constitutional rights. Fortunately, the school not only met these requests but took it a step further, landing Basiler in a years-long, self-inflicted turmoil from which no safe space can protect her. The College Fix reports that the former associate dean of MU Student Life was not only terminated and immediately removed from the university roster but is now under investigation for embezzlement at her former school. Basiler's bullying stunt landed her in the sights of officials who dug to find that she has been allegedly involved in felony acts during her administration, which was ironically discovered while she was on her way out of the university. According to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, a Mitsu official explained that Basiler is suspected of possible misappropriation of funds from student organization accounts affiliated with the Office of Greek Life. The monetary amount has yet to be disclosed. Basiler was quickly removed from the school website in an attempt to distance itself from her extremist behavior. Unfortunately, the university could not spare itself from seeing a sharp enrollment drop due to liberal protests and riots that seek to repress free speech. Daily Caller reports that MISU has also suffered massive budget cuts, around 400 layoffs, and a $14.7 million loss in state funding. At first, Basiler was suspended for her harassment and assault of Ty in 2015 but was later reinstated without reprimand. In fact, the fascist professor even received a promotion soon after returning to campus as if to reward her stifling of students' rights. Mitsu has repeatedly shot itself in the foot when it comes to violent, oppressive professors. In January 2016, media professor Melissa Click was charged with third-degree assault for abusing reporter Mark Schierbecker. The reporter was covering the same protest that Basiler had attended and was similarly blocked from exercising his freedom of the press. Click was recorded pushing Schierbecker's camera and inciting student activists to violence, shouting, "Who wants to help me get this reporter out of here? I need some muscle over here." The higher education system has created a monster that it can no longer control. Millions of students whose brains are still developing have been taught to believe that their emotions trump laws, liberties, and logic. They not only oppose legitimate debate but attempt to shut it down by any means necessary. They use violence to impose their political will, like fascists then call the opposition fascists. They shout down any ideas that may progress society with cries of racism and bigotry instead of arguing the actual subject. The next generation that will determine our nation's atmosphere and political direction is widely too afraid and sensitive to consider anything other than what their liberal professors have demanded they believe. We should not expect these young people to instill in themselves the values of freedom we hold in ourselves. We must show them by continuing to stand against this flagrant repression of constitutional rights that is rampant on college campuses and tirelessly support open debate forums. If anything else, refusing to send out impressionable offspring to these universities and ceasing funds will certainly get the school's attention. Please share the story and tell us what you think by clicking one of the buttons below. We want to hear your voice. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe Breaking News 365 channel. Goodbye and see you again.